Thank you very much for inviting me and opportunity to talk. In 1991, when Ukraine declared independence, it's not very well known, but Poland was the first country to recognize this act. Since then, we are with Ukraine. From the beginning of the Russian invasion, Poland has stood unwaveringly with Ukraine and its people. We have opened our hearts and our homes, welcoming our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Poland will never agree on cruel fate that Russia has prepared for the Ukrainian nation. We will always support the choices of Ukrainian people, who are the only ones that are invited to shape its fate, its country's fate and future. Today, as Ukraine confronts an existential threat, our support is more important than ever. We stand united with all those who are battling for Ukraine's freedom, and it's not only just, but it is also our moral duty. Ukraine's struggle is our struggle, as your country fight for the freedom of us all, and we believe that you will be victorious. But Poland is not alone in that firm belief. You have many friends and allies all around the world, including those who are standing here today in New Zealand, this place. This also includes the United States, Canada, UK and EU member states. As we have here today our ambassador, Lawrence Meredith, representing the European Union of Poland, of which Poland is a committed member, I would like to pass the floor to him. Niech żyje wolna Ukraina.
The Ambassador of the European Union will now provide remarks on behalf of the EU, expressing solidarity and commitment to supporting Ukraine.
Engamana, Engareo, Erau Rangatirama, Tenakoto, Tenakoto, Tenakoto Katoa. My name is Lawrence Meredith and I'm the Ambassador of the European Union. I actually first went to Ukraine in 2000, so it's half a lifetime that I've built up strong friendships with many Ukrainian people. And I was working in my previous role also with Ukraine when the terrible events of 24th of February 2022 happened and Russia's brutal and illegal invasion of Ukraine took place. It's an honor to represent the European Union, and many of whose ambassadors and colleagues are here, and together, as Gregor said, with also many other representatives of the diplomatic corps and from New Zealand. That shows how strongly all those people in the world who believe in freedom, democracy, respect for human rights and the rule of law, we all stand with you, Ukraine. And that's why we're all gathered here this afternoon, to mark the first people in the world to mark this, because we're 12 hours ahead of Ukraine. But I am confident that all the way across the planet, all those who stay for Ukraine will speak up. And we've also seen that even in Russia, there are people who try to fight for freedom. And we have to remember also Alexei Navalny, tragically killed, and as the European Union leadership has been clear that we ultimately hold Putin and his authorities responsible. I also knew Boris Nemtsov, and on Tuesday it will be 9 years since he was assassinated within sight of the Kremlin, and I think it shows that anybody who believes in freedom, democracy and the rule of law stands with you, Ukraine, and it's an honor to be with you. I also know that, as you both spoke beautifully, this is not just about values and principles, it's about people. And I was just talking to many of you, and people, even here in this crowd in Wellington, so far from Ukraine itself, have lost good friends. Somebody said, I lost my closest friend from school, was in tears, understandably. Another person said, I lost my cousin. And this is, as we stand here gathered, these are the people who are gathering. And I think it's so important, 2 years on, that we give a clear message to the Ukrainian people. We will do on behalf of the European Union, and I know I speak for other members, United States, UK, Canada, and others in the diplomatic corps who are here. We will do whatever it takes to bring Ukraine to victory. And I would also like to add, the European Union's opened accession negotiations with Ukraine that shows that Ukraine belongs in the European Union family. I would just like to end this with some words from the very famous Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko. Боритесь, поборете, вам Бог помогая, за вас правда, за вас слава и воля святая. Слава Украина!
Thank you. The ambassador of Taiwan will offer insights into the global significance of unity and shared values that binds nations in times of crisis.
Tēnā koutou katoa, dear Olga, Your Excellencies, good friends. Today we're here gathered for a very noble cause. It has been exactly 2 years, exactly February 24th, 2022, 2 years since the illegal invasion of Russia into Ukraine. Since then, we've seen tens of thousands of lives have been lost. We've seen families, communities torn apart, buildings and cities being destroyed. And so that is devastating. We're here today to honor the bravery of the Ukrainian people, Ukrainian government in resisting the invasion into their own country, and for the incredible courage the Ukrainian has shown, for their resilience and in their determination to protect the national security, for the strength and inspiration they have brought to us. We salute you, Ukraine. Today we not only showed our solidarity with Ukrainian people, but also here to renew our commitment of our shared values for freedom, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. And let's not forget there's still threats posed in the world by expansionist authoritarian regimes. And Taiwan, we are like Ukraine, we stand in the front to resist expansionist countries. So we do understand your struggle. We understand your pain. We're here to support you. Let's be united. Let's resist, and we shall prevail. And since the wake of war, Taiwan donating more than $100 million. That's not enough. We'll continue to do that. And we're very proud and very grateful to collaborate with many good friends. And I would like to especially acknowledge Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Lithuania, of course, United States, and other European countries and organizations, because together we participated in humanitarian assistance and also rebuild of the cities, very important cities like the capital Kiev, Bucha, Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, and Kherson. And we'll continue to do more. We will continue to stand with Ukraine, with its people, until the end of this conflict, through their journeys toward recovery, towards victory, and towards glory. And as we continue to die, we not only commemorate a past, but we also look forward to a future of peace, a future of prosperity. So let's continue joining hands, shoulder to shoulder, and to support freedom, democracy, dignity, and prosperity in Ukraine and in many countries around the world. Slava Ukraini!
Now we have a performance from our friends in New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. They will be performing Melody by Miroslav Skorik and the Ukrainian National Anthem.
See the Ukrainian Ballet's coming as well.
What's that, sorry?
The Ukrainian Ballet's coming to Wellington. The ballet. Do you know the ballet?
Hello
Dance?
everyone, my name is
Dance.
Alexander
Yes,
Gunchenko.
what did my accent?
I'm Ukrainian New Zealander. I was born in Ukraine, spent 20 so years there and more than 23 years here. 2 years ago we gathered here and I was exactly the same position, saying speech unprepared, but didn't know what to say. After Russia invaded, we just all came here, gathered as Ukrainians, some people passing by, just to say something, just to do something about it. And my message back then was that this war will gonna continue for a while. I could never imagine it will continue for that long, but at the moment it seems like it might continue for a while. And my message back then was, please stay with us. It's gonna be hard because the way Russian fighting this war is by propaganda machine that working very well. And if you notice now, there is no addresses to Ukraine in news or media anymore, very little. And I know there is other big problem in the world that we should address. However, this didn't go away. People still dying, people still fighting for just for their right to live how they want. So please don't forget this, and my message is the same. Please stay with us, and thank you for being here. Today we'll perform 2 songs as have been announced, and first one is it's Melody by Skorik. It's kind of became like a soul anthem for many Ukrainians, and we'd like to dedicate this song to all of the victims of this war. I'd like to say thank you to my friends and colleagues from New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. So there will be Melody by Skorik and anthem, Ukrainian anthem. Thank you.
that beautiful performance. Now we have Sharon Alborn from Wednesday Rally Group at the Russian Embassy.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Greetings to all the dignitaries who are here today. Tēnā koutou. To you, Olga, and the members of the Ukrainian Gramada, tēnā koutou. And to all who are here today to stand in solidarity and support with the Ukrainian community, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So we're a group of people who for 2 years have been standing outside the Russian embassy, one in support of the Ukrainian community, and two, to tell the Russian ambassador and his staff that Aotearoa does not want war, does not support the war, and wants the war to stop. We do this in many ways. We proudly fly our flags, and as you know, Wellington's a really good place to fly flags. Not so good for a We do write messages of peace on the driveway going up to the embassy gate, and sometimes when we're being a little bit naughty, we even write on the wall going up to the gate. The Russians do not like that. We sing and we recite poetry. And the Russians, although we have not stopped the war, the Russians do know that we are here. They know that because they've changed their routine a little bit. They don't drive their cars out of the embassy anymore on Wednesdays between 1 and 2. We often told them what we thought of their involvement with this war. They have allocated somebody to wipe off all our messages of peace after we leave on Wednesday. And for some reason, unbeknown to all of us, they have now hired a security guard. Maybe they think that we're being extremely naughty, or Russians don't do protests. The other thing that we do is we reflect. We reflect on all those people who have been killed / murdered in this war. These beautiful young people who go and fight for their country. Look around you and you'll see many young people here today. Well, it's people like them that have gone out to fight for this stupid, senseless war. These people are sons and daughters, as Olga said, wives, husbands, partners, mothers and fathers, all gone now. Their lives have been cut too short. We also reflect on the difficulties that the Ukrainian people are facing in Ukraine and how strong they are. Lack of food, lack of water, lack of electricity, and trying to get by living in bombed out homes in the cold, harsh winters of Kia kaha. And we do reflect on the children. These little babies and children. Think of Muriel. Think of all those that were herded onto a bus by the Russians to be taken who knows where. And think of the children who, when they hear a strange noise in the sky, go rigid with fear, thinking that this will be the bomb that will kill them. And we also reflect on you, the Ukrainian community, and how strong and staunch and committed you are to your country. We know that it's not always easy, but let us tell you right now that we stand with love and solidarity for you. And like you, we wish, hope and pray for peace. Let us imagine peace. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So we're going to play one or two from our regular Wednesdays, but we'd love it, love it, love it if you joined in. Natasha, are you going to play? Okay, so the first one, the first one, I'm not going to stand close when I sing, I can promise you that. Te aroha. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
Te aroha, te akaparo, te gatiari e chacho chacho e. Me aroha, te
Second one is, you see, you are very young, many of you. You won't know these old protest songs. But anyway, here we go. Those of you that know it, please sing along. And it's We Stand With Ukraine. It's usually We Shall Overcome, but We Stand With Ukraine. Now, one of our group has written a poem for this war, and he will now read it. Before he does, though, I'd like to just say next Wednesday marks the 2-year anniversary of when we started our rally at the embassy. So please, if any of you that can come, we would love you to come. Please dress in black for obvious reasons, and we'll see you there between 1 and 2. Tēnā koutou katoa.
I just hope my voice holds up. Every Wednesday for the past 2 years I've read this poem into the intercom system down at the gate at the Soviet Embassy in Karori. It is called The Dimensions of the Meaning of War and Peace for Ukraine. How can we make sense of war? What is the dark matter of the meaning of this word with its face of tears and blood? War is material. It is made of impacts, wounds, corpses and ruins. War is immaterial, mental. It is the hunger of the minds of the hollow men. It is the valor of the victims. War is specific. 1 war, 2 wars, 3 wars. Is there no end to the counting of wars? Wars begin and end, but loss and graves are permanent. War is spatial. It stretches across the vastness of steppes. It rises in the lethal yes-fly zone. It goes down to basements and underground stations. War is temporal. In war, time burns. The future falls before us. War is the manipulation of materials. Its machinery manufactures nothingness. War is activity, intense activity, with random disintegrations and elimination of lives. War is physical intimacy, enemy and victim in a deadly embrace. War is dislocation, lives and nations thrown out of their orbits. War is loss and gain, loss of what was possessed and gain of the shadow of what was lost. War is emptiness where there was fullness. A nation bled of its life, and war is the fullness of the victor, poisoned by stolen spoils. War is existential, a rupture in the fabric of becoming. But the dimensions of meaning are also the dimensions of peace. Spatiality, temporality, activity, physical intimacy, productive use of materials, normality, generosity, endless potential, and existential value. Thank you.
Something quick from me. On behalf of the Ukrainian Gramada, I'm Sophia. I'm a 14-year-old girl and just had that beautiful speech and poem. So this vyshyvanka, this traditional shirt my grandmother made for me, as you may have heard, the colours represent different things. White of peace and purity, black usually of sorrow and red of love. And even here you can see, as my grandmother made for me, there is more love than there is sorrow. It's everywhere, and on behalf of the Gramada, I'd like to thank every single one of you for coming here and for supporting us when we need it the most. Slava Ukraini.
There you go, Slava.
Now presenting representative of the Russian-speaking Integrity Alliance.
Hello everyone, my name is Ilya, I'm from Russia. I'm a part-time of this group as well. And I want to speak on behalf of Russian community in Wellington, Russian community in New Zealand, Russian anti-war movement which is worldwide, and those Russians who can't speak out in Russian. A lot of people, is not able to say you're against the war in Russia. Hello? Yes. Sorry. I think it was embassy guys.
Yeah, that is big.
Yeah. Sorry. A bit nervous. So it is a decade since the war started. It's not 2 years. The crime against independent freedom in Ukraine started 10 years ago. And at this time it was a different country really. It was, I want a little bit introduce this flag. If you see this flag, this is a Russian anti-war movement, and this is a Russian anti-Putin resistance. Everyone who wearing this flag is in support of Ukraine. 2 years of full-scale terror on Ukraine. 10,000 of killed, millions have to change their lives. Every single lost their close people. Russians all around the world today, in all big cities, on all capital of all countries, will go out with this flag to support Ukraine, to stay with Ukrainian people. But unfortunately, the rallies is not enough to stop Putin terrorist actions and to stop this crime. And we Russians, we have some ideas what should happen and how the other countries can help us and help Ukraine, first of all. And first of all, the Ukraine needs more weapons. There is no way to do less and delay. And I call to everyone to ask the representatives of your member of parliament of different countries, of government of free world countries, give weapons for Ukraine right now. Just keep your promise. There is no way to promise something and don't give these weapons. These weapons need to protect Ukrainian civilians, to protect Ukrainian soldiers, to protect the Russian volunteers who fight within Ukrainian defense. The second is Russian states ourselves. A lot of money are blocked on the West, in European Union, in USA, and this is not a Putin money. It is my money. I'm Russian, and this money for Russian people, not for Putin. I ask you, and I give you permission to use this money and give them to Ukraine, to defend Ukraine, to instruct Ukraine. Do it, don't wait. The second, while we're speaking here, the new crime is just preparing right now. In the month, 7th of March, the Putin is organizing the pseudo-election of President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. It's not an election of President of Russia. It's a pseudo-election, the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. I call everyone, don't recognize these facts. This action is a crime. I can't remember everyone. It's going to be happened on the annexed Ukrainian territories. The people under threat of violence will be forced to go to an election to vote. It's not possible. Don't recognize Putin like a Russian leader. He's a war crime.
He's a dictator.
He's a terrorist number one in the world right now. No one make a more crime in the world more than Putin. And of course, I have to say everyone about the Russian political prisoners. There's more than 500 and even more people in Russia prisons who put in a prison just because they say no war. 2 wars is enough to go to a prison for 8 years. You know, the last week, one of the leader of the Russian opposition was killed, Alexei Navalny. I knew him in person. I worked with him to build an opposition political party 10 years ago. It was a completely different country when it was possible to do some actions. Now it's completely impossible. Putin killed Navalny. It's Putin killed Navalny. No one could say Navalny died in the prison. It's a wrong. It's a lie. Putin killed Navalny. And there should be consequences for this action on Putin, on his family. I ask more sanction, not against Russia, but against personal Putin. There is no way Putin can move between different countries and tell you his propaganda. I want just complete with few phrases from Alexei. It's mostly for Russian people. I know there is a Russian. You can't recognize Russian here. They are here right now, you know, and they listen us. Alexei said, all that is needed to the victory of the evil is the inaction of the good people. Don't be inactive. Don't give up. It's not a shame to do a little. It's a shame to do nothing. It is a shame to let yourself be intimidated. Glory to Ukraine. Freedom to Russia. Thank you very much.
Добрый день, Tenakoto Katua. Hello everyone. I'm a close friend of Ilyas. I'm Russian and I stand with Ukraine, and we pray for Ukraine. We pray for its freedom and independence and peace, and for the incredible resistance of the Ukrainian people. So I would like to sing a couple of songs in Ukrainian. The first one is Prayer for Ukraine, and the second one is the symbol of like the unofficial anthem of Ukraine and Ukrainian freedom, Червона Калина.
Yeah.
Боже великий єдиний, нам Україну храни, волі світом проміння ти. многая, многая лета. You probably know this one, so you sing along. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. Ай, у полі ярої пшениці золотистий лан, розпочалі січені стрільці з ворогами план. А ми тую ярою пшеничку і зберемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. А ми тую ярою пшеничку і зберемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. Не хилися, червона калина, маєш білий цвіт. Не журися, славна Україна, маєш вільний рід. А ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. А ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава нації! Україна! And I need a little bit of help for this one. I recently heard from my friends from Ukrainian community a song written by Polish band Taraka about giving a hand to Ukraine. So I would like to sing this song in 3 languages, in Polish, and then in Ukrainian, and then in English. Just need a bit of support because I'm Горяче серця, чок докола строга зима. Ej-o, smaczniete usta, okryk wolności się zaczyna. Choć dziś powstało, niech żyje wiecznie i nie zginie. Ej-o, i nie stoi obok i podaj rękę Ukrainę. Ще не вмерла Україна, бо ми разом, бо ми одна родина, символ волі, червона як калина. Ще не вмерла Україна, ще не вмерла Україна, бо ми разом, бо ми одна родина, символ волі, червона як калина. Ще не вмерла Україна. Твій приятель покинув дім, іде в дорогу.